I've been sitting here on my couch for the last hour with my knees pulled up, just staring at the dark window, and I finally decided I have to tell this. My heart is still racing thinking about it. So here's the truth. My father sent me a $225,000 bill for raising an unwanted daughter. He never expected what I did next. Yeah, that really happened, word for word. My own dad sent me an invoice for $225,000 like I was some bad business deal he wanted his money back on. And the words unwanted daughter were right there in black and white on my 25th birthday of all days. If your stomach just dropped reading that, go ahead and hit subscribe real quick. This whole story is raw, it's real, and the next parts are going to keep you up at night, I promise. My name is Lisa Thompson. I'm 26 now. I live in this little one-bedroom apartment in Columbus, Ohio. Nothing fancy. The floors creak when I walk, the radiator makes weird noises at night, and my window looks straight out at the parking lot where the streetlight flickers. But growing up, our house looked like it came out of a magazine. Nice brick place with a big yard, fresh paint every couple years, Dad's shiny black SUV always parked out front, shining like new. Dad was a real estate agent. Everybody in town loved him. Big smile, strong handshake, always closing big deals and telling funny stories at barbecues. People would say, "Your dad is such a great guy." If only they knew what went on inside those walls. My mom left when I was 7. I still remember every detail like it was yesterday. Gray, rainy morning, her red suitcase by the door, her eyes all puffy from crying. She hugged me tight, kissed my forehead, and whispered, "I love you, baby, but I just can't stay." Then she walked out into the rain, and that was it. Dad stood there watching her go, arms crossed. And from that day on, he made sure I knew it was my fault she left. He never yelled or hit me. That would have been too loud, too obvious. Instead, he used little cuts every single day. When I needed new shoes because mine had holes, he'd sigh so loud it filled the kitchen and say, "Do you know how expensive you are, Lisa?" Birthdays? A cheap card with $20 taped inside and a lecture about how much money I cost him. Some kids don't even get cake, he'd add. Christmas was the same. He started calling me his little mistake when he thought I was asleep. I'd lie in bed hearing him say it to himself while he paid bills. When I was 12, he married Karen. Suddenly there were twin boys and everything changed. Those boys got new bikes for Christmas, trips to Disney World, big birthday parties with balloons and cake. Family photos on the wall showed all 4 of them smiling, and I was either cut out or standing way in the back like an extra. I learned fast to stay quiet, not ask for anything, and just disappear into the background. By 16, I was working almost every day after school at the busy diner downtown. I'd come home smelling like fries and coffee, feet hurting so bad I could barely walk, but at least I didn't have to hear his sighs when I needed lunch money. The day I turned 18, I stuffed all my clothes into black trash bags, loaded up my old beat-up car, and drove away without even saying goodbye. No note, no tears. I just wanted out. For 7 years, I barely spoke to him. I scraped by with community college classes, 2 jobs, tiny apartments, and I never asked him for one single dime. I thought we were done. I thought I was finally free. Then last year, on my 25th birthday, everything exploded. I was standing in my tiny bathroom brushing my teeth, feeling pretty good for once. I had just started a steady job as a graphic designer. Friends were coming over later for coffee. Life was finally feeling steady. My phone dinged on the counter at exactly 7:32 a.m. The email was from Dad. Subject line, outstanding balance, personal invoice. I almost laughed thinking it was spam, but I opened it anyway. A professional PDF loaded with his real estate company logo right at the top. Then I started reading the list. Diapers, formula, doctor visits, school clothes, lunches, even lost time from work because of parenting. Every single thing going back to the day I was born. The total at the bottom, exactly $225,000. He added 5% interest because, in his words, I took too long to repay as an adult. But the line that completely broke me was printed right at the bottom in bold letters. Final amount due for raising an unwanted daughter. He had CC'd Karen and my 2 half-brothers so they would all see it. I stood there frozen with toothpaste still in my mouth, staring at the screen. My phone felt like it weighed 100 pounds. Then the tears came so fast and hard I couldn't breathe. I slid down the cold tile wall onto the bathroom floor and cried like I was 7 years old again. All those years of feeling worthless, of being told I was too expensive, of watching other kids get love while I got lectures, it all crashed over me at once. But as I sat there on that floor, shaking and crying, something inside me shifted. The hurt didn't go away, it just turned into something sharper, something cold and clear. Because what my father never knew, what nobody knew, was that for years I had saved every single cruel thing he ever sent me. Every mean text, every voicemail where he called me ungrateful, every email that made me cry myself to sleep. Dates, times, exact words, a whole folder full of proof. And slowly, quietly, I had turned all that pain into a plan he was never, ever going to see coming.
You know that feeling when your whole body goes numb but your mind is racing 1,000,000 miles an hour? That's exactly where I was after I read that bill. I stayed on that cold bathroom floor for what felt like forever, phone still glowing in my hand, tears dripping onto my shirt. My legs were asleep, my back hurt from the tile, but I couldn't move. All I kept thinking was, how can someone who is supposed to love you turn around and do this? Eventually, I stood up. My knees were shaking so bad I had to hold on to the sink. I washed my face with cold water, looked at myself in the mirror, and barely recognized the girl staring back. Eyes all puffy, hair a mess. I walked into my living room, sat right back down on this same couch I'm on now, and just stared at the wall for a long time. The rain was still coming down outside, tapping on the window like it was trying to keep me company. The next few days were a blur. I called in sick to work. Couldn't eat much, just some toast and tea that tasted like nothing. My best friend Sarah kept texting, asking if I was okay because I wasn't posting anything. I told her I had a stomach bug. I wasn't ready to say the words out loud yet. Every time I opened my email, that invoice was right there at the top. I kept rereading it, feeling smaller and smaller each time. Then, on the third night, something inside me flipped. I was sitting here at 1 a.m., same blanket, same cold tea, and I thought, no, I'm not paying him a single cent, and I'm not going to let him make me feel like trash anymore. That's when I opened the hidden folder on my laptop, the one I called Old Stuff. Inside were years and years of everything he ever sent me. Mean texts from when I was 16 asking for money for school books. You're old enough to pay for your own crap now. Voicemails from my high school graduation night where he said, "Don't expect me to clap for you, I already did enough." Emails after I moved out, calling me selfish for not coming to family dinners. Every single one dated and saved. I had over 300 of them. I never deleted them because, honestly, they were proof I wasn't making it all up in my head. I started printing them out at the library the next day so he couldn't trace anything back to my printer. I sat in my car in the parking lot for hours, organizing them by year, highlighting the worst parts. My hands were shaking the whole time, but it felt good, like I was finally taking back some power. I also started writing everything down, every memory I could remember. The times he made me eat leftovers while the boys got pizza. The Christmas I got socks and he told Karen I didn't deserve new clothes. The night I turned 15 and he said out loud at dinner, "Some parents get lucky with their kids. I got stuck with the expensive one." But here's where it gets even crazier. While I was digging through old emails looking for more proof, I found something I wasn't supposed to see. It was an email from Dad to Mom from 2 months before she left. The subject line said, "Final warning." In it, he wrote things like, "If you take her, I'll make sure you never get a dime," and "She's your problem now." There were bank statements attached showing money he had hidden in an account with only his name, money he always swore he didn't have when I needed new glasses or braces. My stomach dropped. Why would he hide money from his own family? Why threaten Mom like that? It didn't make sense unless there was more to the story than I ever knew. I printed that email too, heart pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. I sat in my car, rain pouring down the windshield, and whispered to myself, "This is bigger than the bill." That same week, I found a lawyer online who does family cases for free the first time. I met her in a quiet coffee shop on the other side of town so no one would recognize me. I showed her everything. She read for a long time, then looked up at me with this serious face and said, "Lisa, this isn't just about money. This is emotional abuse. We can fight this. We can go after him for way more than he's asking from you." I almost cried right there in the coffee shop. But she warned me we had to be smart, quiet, build the strongest case possible before he even knew we were coming. So that's what I started doing. Every night after work, I'd come home, lock my door, and keep adding to the pile. More screenshots, more memories, more proof. I had no idea how huge this was about to get. But then, one Thursday night, while I was going through his old tax papers I'd saved from when I helped him with filing as a teenager, I found the one thing that changed everything.
Okay, so that Thursday night, I was up late again, same couch, same blanket wrapped around me like armor, laptop balanced on my knees. The apartment was dead quiet except for the hum of the fridge and the occasional car passing outside. I was scrolling through old tax papers I'd scanned years ago when I helped Dad with his filing during high school, back when he still pretended I was useful for something. I clicked on one random PDF from 2008. It was a bank statement tucked inside his tax folder. At first I thought it was nothing, just numbers. But then I saw the account number didn't match the one he used for family stuff. This was a separate savings account, only in his name. Deposits every month from his real estate commissions, but never touched. Over the years, it built up to over $400,000 by the time I stopped helping him. My hands froze on the keyboard. Why hide this? He always told Mom, and later me, that we were barely scraping by. When I needed braces in middle school, he said no because money's tight. When Mom left, he told everyone he couldn't afford alimony or extra child support because business was slow. But here was proof he had money stashed away the whole time. Then I remembered that email I found earlier, the one from him to Mom before she left. The final warning with threats like, "If you take her, you'll get nothing," and attachments showing transfers to that hidden account. It hit me like a truck. He wasn't just mean, he was calculating. He pushed Mom out, kept me around as some kind of burden he could complain about, but made sure he never actually lost money on it. I sat there staring at the screen until my eyes burned. Tears came again, but different this time. Angry tears. The kind that make your chest tight and your breathing sharp. I whispered out loud, "You lied about everything." The cat jumped off the couch like I scared her. The next morning, I called my lawyer, the one from the coffee shop. Her name's Maria. I told her about the hidden account in the email. She was quiet for a second, then said, "Lisa, this changes things, a lot. We can argue intentional infliction of emotional distress, maybe even fraud if he misrepresented finances during any old family court stuff. But more importantly, we can countersue for damages, big damages, and we have the proof to make it stick." She explained the plans step by step. First, we send him a formal demand letter, not paying his bill, but demanding he retract it and apologize in writing, or we file suit. If he pushes back, and she bet he would, we go to court. With the saved messages, voicemails, my written memories, that hidden money evidence, and now this bank stuff, we could ask for way more than $225,000. Emotional distress damages, punitive if the judge saw it as malicious. In Ohio, adult children can sue parents for this kind of long-term abuse, especially with clear proof and no statute issues, since some of it was recent emails. I felt dizzy thinking about it. Part of me was terrified. What if he fights dirty? What if Karen and the boys get dragged in? But another part felt powerful. For the first time, I wasn't the one begging or hiding. I was the one with the receipts. Maria said we needed to move fast but careful. No contacting him directly. Everything through her. She filed the initial paperwork quietly. a civil complaint for intentional infliction of emotional distress and related claims. We asked for $2.25 million, 10 times his bill, plus legal fees and whatever the court thought fair. He got served 2 weeks later. I wasn't there, but Maria told me he called her office raging, said it was ridiculous and blackmail. Then he lawyered up. His attorney sent back a nasty letter calling my claims baseless and threatening to countersue for defamation if I didn't drop it. But we didn't drop it. Court dates started. Mediation first. Neutral room, lawyers talking. Dad showed up in his suit, looking smug like always. Wouldn't even look at me. His lawyer tried to lowball. Retract the bill, no apology, no money either way. Maria laughed, politely, and slid over our binder of evidence. Texts, voicemails, the hidden bank account, the old email to mom, my therapist notes from years of sessions talking about feeling worthless. Dad's face went white when he saw the bank statements. He started stammering about that was for retirement and you misunderstood, but the mediator wasn't buying it. We went to full trial. It was brutal. I had to testify, sit on the stand, voice shaking, reading out the worst messages he sent me. You're my little mistake, ungrateful, expensive. The judge, older woman, kind eyes, listened without interrupting. When I finished, the courtroom was so quiet you could hear the clock ticking on the wall. His side tried to say it was tough love or just parenting, but the evidence was too strong. The judge ruled in my favor, awarded $1.8 million in compensatory damages for emotional distress, plus $500,000 punitive because she called his behavior malicious and calculated. Total over $2.3 million after fees. He appealed, of course, lost that too. Now he's selling the big house to pay it off. Karen left him, filed for divorce right after the ruling, took the boys. Last I heard, he's living in a small condo. Business slowed way down because word got around town. Me? I used part of the money to pay off my student loans, buy a better apartment, start therapy without worrying about cost. The rest, I donated a big chunk to local women's shelters and programs for kids from tough homes, places that help people feel wanted when their own family makes them feel like a burden. I don't talk to him anymore. No revenge calls or gloating. I just live, quietly, finally free. If you've made it this far, thank you. Seriously. Sharing this feels scary, but if it helps even one person know they're not alone, it's worth it.
Hey, if you're still here after everything, thank you, seriously. I know this story's heavy. My hands are actually shaking a little right now just typing this out, but I want to finish it right. Tell you what happened after the courtroom dust settled and how it all feels now that some time has passed. So, after the judge ruled in my favor, that $2.3 million total, with the punitive part hitting him hard because she called his actions malicious and calculated, life didn't magically fix itself overnight. There was the appeal he filed right away, dragging things out another 8 months. I had to keep going back to depositions, answering more questions, reliving the same old hurts in front of lawyers who talked about me like I was a case file. My anxiety spiked so bad some nights, I couldn't sleep. I'd just sit on this couch staring at the ceiling fan spinning, wondering if I'd made the right call. But the appeal got denied. The higher court basically said the evidence was overwhelming. The saved messages, the hidden bank account, the old email to mom showing he pushed her out while stashing cash, they upheld the full award. He had to start liquidating. The big house went on the market first, sold in under a month for way less than he wanted because word spread in town. Real estate people talk. Clients started pulling away. His business took a real hit. Karen? She filed for divorce 2 weeks after the ruling came down, took the boys and moved to her sister's place in Cincinnati. I don't blame her. From what I heard through a mutual old neighbor, she said she couldn't stay with someone who treated his own daughter like that. The boys, they're teenagers now. I don't know if they understand the full story yet, but I hope one day they do and know it wasn't about them. As for Dad, last I checked, and I don't check often, he's in a small condo on the edge of town.
No more golf weekends, no more flashy car. He sent one email after the appeal lost. Just one line, "I hope you're happy now." No sorry, no apology, nothing. I didn't reply, deleted it, and blocked him everywhere. That chapter's closed. The money? Yeah, it's life-changing. I paid off my loans, got a nicer apartment with big windows and actual sunlight in the mornings. I started real therapy, not the cheap sessions I could barely afford before. My therapist says the nightmares are less frequent now. I donated a big portion to places that help kids from broken homes, women's shelters, after-school programs, counseling for teens who feel invisible like I did. It feels good knowing some good came out of all the bad. But the real win isn't the check, it's the quiet. Waking up without that knot in my stomach, wondering if today's the day he'll call and make me feel small again. Going to brunch with friends and laughing without faking it. Looking in the mirror and not hearing his voice in my head calling me a mistake. I still get sad sometimes. Holidays are weird. I spend them with Sarah's family or just me and the cat watching movies. I wonder about Mom every now and then, if she's out there somewhere, if she thinks about me. Maybe one day I'll try to find her. No rush. If this story hit close to home for you, if you've got your own version of feeling unwanted or like you owed someone for just existing, know this: you're not crazy. You're not too much. You're not a burden, and you don't have to stay silent forever. Healing isn't linear. Some days are great, some days the old hurt sneaks back in. But every day I choose to keep going, I get a little stronger. Thanks for listening all the way through. If you want more stories or just need to vent in the comments, I'm here. No judgment.
I'm back on the same couch tonight, same blanket, same flickering streetlight outside the window. But something feels different now, lighter, like I finally put down a suitcase I've been carrying since I was 7 years old. Looking back, the money was never really the point. Yeah, it changed my life, paid off debts, gave me breathing room, let me help other people who are hurting. But the real freedom, it was the moment I decided I wasn't going to let his words define me anymore. I stopped believing I was too expensive, a mistake, unwanted. Those weren't facts, they were his words, and I don't have to carry them forever. Some nights, I still cry thinking about the little girl who just wanted her dad to hug her instead of sighing. Some days, I get angry all over again. And that's okay. Healing isn't a straight line. It's more like waves. They come, they crash, they pull back, but each time the wave pulls back, I'm a little farther from the shore where he left me. If any part of this story feels familiar, if you've ever felt like you had to earn love, or like you were a burden, or like someone's disappointment, please hear me. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are worthy of love exactly as you are, right now, without having to prove anything. You deserve people who see you and stay, who choose you without keeping score. And if the people who were supposed to do that didn't, that's on them, not on you. I want to hear from you. Drop in the comments one word that describes how this story made you feel, or share, as much or as little as you want, have you ever had to set a boundary with family that felt impossible? Or just type, "I'm here," if you need to feel less alone tonight. I read every single comment, I promise. You're not shouting into the void. A quick note before we close. This entire story is based on real events from my life. Names of other people have been changed to protect privacy, but every emotion, every detail I shared, the cold bathroom floor, the hidden bank statements, the courtroom silence, that all happened. I'm telling it because I wish someone had told me years ago that it's okay to speak up, to fight back, to choose yourself. This video and this channel are not legal advice, not therapy, not a substitute for professional help. If you're in a tough family situation, please reach out to a counselor, a hotline, or a trusted friend. You don't have to carry it alone. Thank you, YouTube, for giving regular people like me a place to share stories that matter. Thank you to the YouTube team, the engineers, the creator support folks, the moderators who keep this space safe. You make this possible. And thank you again to every single one of you watching.
If this helped even a tiny bit, if it made you feel seen or braver or less alone, then it was worth every tear I cried making it. Take care of your heart, okay? It's been through enough. I'll see you in the next story, whenever I'm ready to tell another one. Until then, be kind to yourself. You deserve it.